Hi, I'm Greg Kunkle from Keller and Heckman. I'm here with Doug Jarrett and David Reeder. We just wrapped up a webinar last week on spectrum availability for critical infrastructure next generation applications. We had a couple of questions, holdover questions at the end of the webinar that we didn't have time to get to and answer fully, and we wanted to address those today.
The first question was, have we seen more spectrum acquisition activity in broadband or narrowband licenses?
We clearly have seen more activity with respect to the narrowband. And the reason is that spectrum has been available for a longer period of time, and broadband requirements have just come online in the last couple of years. We believe that if there were spectrum available for broadband applications, that activity would pick up measurably.
You indicated that few broadband spectrum options are readily available for private users, but mentioned the 2.3 gigahertz band as one of the current options. Is there something unique about this band that makes it more readily available option than others?
Sure, right. In our webinar, we laid out a number of options for narrowband and broadband spectrum, and those of you who attended noticed, I'm sure, that there weren't many available options for broadband spectrum, 2.3 gigahertz being one of them. We've recently become aware that 2.3 gigahertz licensees in the C and D block are looking to market their spectrum nationwide and have targeted specifically utilities and critical infrastructure entities, and have made there's at least one transaction for that spectrum that's closed in the last few months. So that right now is a good option. There's between 5 and 10 megahertz of spectrum available in that band across the country. There are some issues with the C and D block at 2.3 gigahertz related to equipment, possible interference from nearby band allocated to satellite digital audio radio. So you'll want to do your due diligence on those issues before entering a transaction, but it is an option that is available today.
It's a good point, Greg, about the due diligence. Keep in mind, you do your due diligence on the incumbents, your due diligence on the equipment and the equipment provider, and when you do your deal, separate your license acquisition deal from your equipment purchase deal. Two separate agreements. Greg?
All right, well, thanks a lot. If anybody has any other questions that they have about spectrum availability or questions about our webinar from last week, feel free to get in touch with any of us. Thanks.